Welcome back, folks. Cape Rugby TV in studio with me, Jerome Parvater. Jerome, actually completely forgot what I wanted to say to you, but it's nice to have you in the studio.
Thank you very much.
And Faisal Felton, you're also very welcome in the studio with us. We are though wondering when you guys are going to bring in catering into the studio. You know, coffee and biscuits and rusks and things like that. Or is that our responsibility?
JP, you know, you're quite good with sponsorship. I was wondering if you can't get maybe somewhere with all your connections, if there's somebody out there with the coffee shop or something, just to sponsor you.
Folks, welcome back. We can see the Club Rugby Gees is back, and it's of course one of the things we love about rugby is the banter. I mean, Faisal, you would agree with me that most, probably, and Jerome, you as well, probably most conversations happen after the game in the parking lot and carries on for hours and hours into the midnights.
No, definitely. I think, you know, that's the good thing about club. You know, on the day there's a winner and loser, but the one thing is, you know, that family and, you know, afterwards the banter, as you say. And I think a lot of the guys have been missing that with COVID.
Well, I was going to ask you, do you think that, I mean, if we just look, you know, a lot of people didn't understand what the clubs were doing during COVID. They thought because there were no games, there was no activity. But it's that sort of interaction, that sort of banter, that sort of social cohesion that was keeping everybody connected. People were looking after each other. People were talking. The family structure of club rugby stayed there.
No, definitely. I think the wives and the kids and, you know, they've had enough of the husbands at home now, so they need to get back out on the field. So I think from that angle, everybody's excited. Everybody, you know, is getting back into that routine of, you know, rugby on a Saturday, starting early morning, shopping early morning, and then off to the field.
But also the network. I mean, Jerome, you mentioned it now. You know, you talk about people have sponsors and people have friends in the space. People know each other in the community environment. The network that during the COVID time that people were able to rely on, they were able to phone each other for help. This is a network that got established because they play rugby against each other. Is the ability to be friends and family were really what was looking after each other during that lockdown period.
Yes, as you say, JP, and also that friends and family and within that club spaces, guys were also trying to sneak in some games which they were not supposed to do, but you couldn't stop that. But that's how that works. Yeah, like with friends, and they talk and they want to do stuff. But that's what we need in the rugby, so we can't stop that.
Yeah. I think also, JP, the one thing is, you know, during COVID, especially with people, you know, we must also remember a lot of people have passed on. It's brought a lot of the club people closer, and that, and you know, it was, for me, that was great, you know, when there was people that have passed on, you know, the clubs coming together, supporting each other, you know, going out there and that there. So I think that was also, you know, during those tough times, it's also taught us to be a lot more closer, and I think we've learned a lot, especially some of our administrators that have passed on, you know, strong members within the club structure. So some of the clubs going back, it's going to be difficult, you know, members that they've lost and that they, but I think the key thing again, you know, it's just getting back on the field on a Saturday, building that community, building that family again. And I think, again, that's what club rugby is about.
Yeah, we saw some incredible stuff over the last 2 years. Clubs reaching out. I mean, Jerome talks about from a rugby perspective, but we saw people helping each other with income, people helping each other with food, basic essentials. It really was incredible. One of the clubs that was doing fantastic work over the last 2 years, of course, and before, St Georges. We went down to St Georges this week to catch up with them at practice.
Ja, ek is baie excited. Die boys is baie excited, die coaches baie excited. Die liefde is hier vir die rugby. Ek dink is excited oor en als ek kan net nie wag om my eerste game te speel weer na 'n lang tyd hier. Is meer motivation, ja, en die youngsters is 'n bietjie fitter as ons. Hulle is mos nou die sevens manne en dan's die touches manne. So hulle hou ons op die tone en vir my is dit veral 'n laat vir my nog meer harder beweeg.
Ja, het is baie gelukkig om terug te kan wees op die veld en om weer rugby te kan speel na 2 jaar. En veral nou vir die preparasie na Wesbank toe. Ons is baie gelukkig en ons wil net zo. Ja, na die liga toe. Dis waarna toe ons werk. So dis hoekom ons nou al die toernooie moet nou aangaan vat. Ons gaan dadelijk ook speel hierna. So die main ding is die fitness en conditioning. Dis waarin ons werk. Ons het 'n doel waar ons wil bereik einde van die jaar as die league klaar is. Die mikpunt is Superliga A.
Ja, ons is baie excited hier by St Georges Club. Ons het 'n nuwe coaching staff wat vir ons baie dinge doen wat ons baie vir die jaar nou voorberei. Ja, die manne is baie excited om te speel na 3 jaar. Hulle gaan nou vir hulle geniet op Wesbank. Hulle is die kampioene. Ja, ons is baie competitive wat ons wees vir die league en ons werk hard as 'n team, as 'n Georges Rugby Club en ons sien uit na 2020.
Ja, definitief Renzo. Die ouens is ek baie excited. Dit was 2 jaar, was 2 tough jare gewees wat ons basies niks kon gedoen het nie. Ons belangrikste mikpunt op die oomblik is net om die ouens fiks te kry, condition weer bietjie op te bring en is taaf. Want baie van die ouens het daaglikse werke. Hulle kom in die aande 6:00, 6:30 by die huis. Dan moet hulle nog oefenveld toe kom, maar die guys, die boys is excited. Hulle sien uit vir 2022. Ja, ons hoop maar net alles bly soos dit nou is. Ja, almal die clubs het nou friendlies gereël en al daai. So maar ek dink dinge sal regkom. Hoopelik begin die liga soos hulle sê die 2 April as ek reg is. So kom ons kyk, ons hoop maar ons delay van 2 jaar is verby en ons kan 'n bietjie rugby speel en die community weer nader trek. Dit is die belangrikste ding want op 'n Saterdag, as jy was al hier gewees al Renzo, daar's 3-4 duisend mense op 'n Saterdag en dit is wat die community mis. So hoopelik vind die rugby plaas.
St Georges Rugby Football Club in action, and of course, Faisal, St Georges playing Super League B, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's tough for guys to assess and see who's who in terms of which league and where they're playing and that. Yeah. So I think from St George's side, they've always been a team that's it's been on top and looking forward to a good season ahead for them as well.
Jerome, just looking at some of the practice there, what we're seeing there is, of course, the battle ropes. Are we again, if we go back to that, what Faisal mentioned earlier on about the drought, for example, we saw a real push there because players weren't allowed on the field. A real push there for the increase in functional training equipment. Players using tires and ropes and so on. And we see St George's using the ropes there. We see other functional equipment. Do you expect that we're going to see a continuation of that in the club rugby space? We know that in the professional environment, it's already being used.
Yes, JP, I think, again, what COVID taught us that you have to go on, but it's also good to see what they do, especially with the ropes, and I saw some prowlers there, and I saw the equipment. So some clubs really...
The prowler, let's just pause there for anyone who... Folks, just for the record, the prowler is not the burglar that's coming through the window. I think what Jerome is referring to is the prowler. Explain it to us, Jerome.
Yeah, that you push with the handle, and there's weights on, so you can add weights or you can take weights off, and guys push that, and it's almost like to stay in a nice low position, where you push in a scrum or you counteract in a breakdown. So that help a lot with that. So that's what the role of the prowler is for.
That's the prowler.
Yeah.
Okay, now we know what the prowler is. But functional equipment, I mean, Faisal also, it helps, it's for, if you don't want to be going to gym contracts and things like that, functional equipment, of course, very popular. I mean, we're seeing international athletes that are using functional training equipment.
No, definitely. I think, JP, it's a matter of thinking out of the box. As you can see, a lot of the guys are out, some of them out in the gym. Some guys, I know, False Bay, the guys are out in CrossFit, so I think it's, at the end of the day, it's just getting out there and doing something, and I think having a plan. like you see St George's and that, they like the Prowler, and you know they've got a fancy.
Yeah.
I've learnt it tonight, the Prowler. So I think it's good to see that they're making use of functional equipment and that they the guys are training and looking forward.
Well, as you guys know, on a weekly basis, we give one of our lucky viewers a chance to win a case of Score energy drinks and a set of Cape Rugby TV masks, courtesy of CTC Sports. And what we do is we take a Club Rugby logo and we make some changes to it, and then we ask our fans on Facebook to guess the logo, and then you put yourself in the mix to win a case of Score. So we've got a logo that I want you guys to take a look at as well. I'm not really sure if we should actually be showing Faisal Felton this logo, but we're going to put you to the test and see if you can also spot the logo. Right, folks, don't forget, you can, of course, go join us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV, and come to our Facebook page and see if you can spot the logo. It's great fun, and in fact, it's one of those things that goes to show you. Yes, there you see, that's Hamadias that I was talking about behind me over here. This is, of course, Rocklands, folks, for those of you that don't know. And on my left-hand side here, this is Hands and Hearts. And of course, this is Titans. That's busy with Busy Bees branding on it. But right, Faisal, Jerome, see if you guys can spot the logo. There we go. Faisal, I should not be.
Ask me?
All right, Faisal, you of course know the answer to this question. You want to tell us the club name?
Yes, club I played for once upon a time, Primroses.
Primrose Rugby Football Club. Jerome, do you agree?
It's definitely Primrose.
Definitely Primrose, and of course one of your management structures, of course, coached at Primrose for a while. Yeah.
Papa G.
All right, folks, there you go. Congratulations to Rayan Mohammed. Rayan, you win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, a set of Cape Rugby TV masks. You correctly spotted the logo, and anybody else there that wants to join us, come to our Facebook page, come and enter there. It's great fun, and it really gives us a good shot at seeing, like, do you know your club rugby? We'll take a break. When we come back, we go down to Strand Rugby Football Club. Back in a sec.